How's it going, everybody? Welcome to week 8. We are halfway through the semester. Um, we're getting into. We've shifted now from Abrahamic to some new religions. Before we do it, a couple things I want to announce. Um, there's both in the student resources. One, I looked over everyone's quiz one and gave some feedback on sort of the writing section and corrected the ones in the beginning. If I missed one in the beginning, please let me know. Sorry about that. I tried to correct them all. But what I also did is uploaded a couple examples of what I was looking for in quiz one, sort of question one, the function of religions, or this, questions they ask, how they provide us purpose. And the answer, and in your answer there, I was really looking for, again, examples from the course materials. So, those materials are week 1 through 6. So, I was looking for things, particularly from the Abrahamic religions, but you could also do, we did that section on early polytheistic beliefs of sort of the Mediterranean, Mesopotamia, Greece, Egypt. So, or even if you wanted to go Paleolithic beliefs as well, but just kind of give examples there. What are these? Not just they answer these questions, but how are they answered within these traditions, like the Book of Genesis for creation, or Five Pillar of Islam for behavior, or Ten Commandments is a good example. And then also substance of religion. I mean, these are the symbols and the traditions and the festivals and the churches, mosques, architecture. So again, a lot of people answered that well. I was just looking for a little more, give me specifics, right? Think of my tests or ways to show me that you're following with the course materials, right? That's kind of our way to do it. So make sure that's there. And I tried to comment on that on people's. Some people talked about, like Buddhism and Hinduism, and I know that it's mentioned in the textbook, but we haven't really covered it in the course materials yet. So focus on sort of these quizzes are focusing on what we're been learning. So that's kind of what I was looking for there. The other thing is I put in this thing, the Ka'au framework. It's also in the student resources. We're halfway through the semester, so again, kind of the idea here is that the community college is trying to kind of think of your time, this, each semester, each class is sort of like an individual chapter in your story. That's what Ka'au means, is story. So how do these, how is that going, right? We're halfway through. There's different phases to each story, the hua, the seed, and then, the departure, ha'alele, and then the huaka'i, the journey we're on right now. So, it's been 8 weeks. So kind of reassess, where are we in these 8 weeks? Where are you in this 8 weeks? Has it been smooth sailing? Has been there some turbulence? How can we maybe rock the ship now to kind of get going on that? So maybe just think about that. I ask in my in-person classes, I actually have everybody sit down and answer those first 3 questions about the hua, reflecting on the hua. So if you want to sort of set your clock for 3 minutes and just write them out. What is your hua? Has it changed? Stayed the same? Changed? Why? What's one thing you've accomplished so far? And it doesn't have to be just in this class. It could be anything over the last 8 weeks. Just, what have you done? What are you proud of that you've done? And then also be thinking about what you need to do to succeed. What can you do to get to the end? We have 8 more weeks to go. Is it fine? You're good. You're good to go. Stay on the path. Or there's certain ways you can improve, and not just in this class, for all classes, and maybe not even just inside school, but outside of school as well. That's kind of what we're trying to make education more holistic, that it's not compartmentalized, that it's all sort of working together. So that's those main ideas there. And now into this work, now we're switching to sort of 2 South Asian traditions, Hinduism, which is the beginning of that with the Vedas and the Upanishads, and then we'll do 2 weeks of this, and then we'll get into Buddhism, which sort of come out of the same core of ideas, these Vedas that were brought by these Indo-Aryans. I'll give you a little bit of Indus history, a little bit of history background, just to get us where we are, to figure out where this landscape is in which these ideas emerged. So, Indo-Aryans, they came after the Indus. They brought with them their religion, recorded in the Vedas, orally recorded in the language of Sanskrit, which is an Indo-European language, which the lecture talks all about that. But then after the Vedas, this sort of Upanishadic period as well, where there's no real consistent message in the Vedas. I mean, there's different creation myths and different concepts, but it's not really devised. So the Upanishads is this transition where they add some philosophical sort of polishing to a lot of what was going on in the Vedas. So Upanishad means to come sit next to, so somebody would explain this stuff. I gave you one Upanishad to read just to kind of give you an idea. I gave you some example Vedic hymns, and you in reading those, you'll see sort of the differences there. Kind of gave a lot of videos too as well about things you can see and hear, right? I mean, a lot of it is oral. So what do we hear about the Vedas as well as what is being said? And I gave some examples of contemporary Vedic rituals, which still go on in India today. People do these Vedic rituals, get Brahmins to come perform these in houses at ceremonies and openings. They're still very much part of this world. So I think that's it. Discussion post for today, for this week. Pick one. It's more like historical, creative. Be creative, but put yourself in those worlds. Like read about the stuff, the Vedas. In the first one, what do I ask you to do? You're a young Brahmin, like living in a nomadic group. So this is sort of the Indo-Aryan pastoralists, right? Explain what kind of trading you'll go under, right? And some of the videos will help you on that. Or the second one, right? Now we're sort of settled in this Upanishadic period, right? This Vedic world where people are more settled. There's economies, kingdoms being built. Why would you do this Vedic ceremony? Like, what would it procure? Why would you perform it? So, kind of put yourself in there. And then the last thing I want to announce is there was a third Abrahamic festival in Judaism. Purim just happened on Monday and Tuesday. Celebration of the book of Esther that talks about how the Persians were going to eradicate the Jews, and then they were able to kind of overcome it using beauty and brains to kind of preserve, overcome, and within there. And so the festival, there was actually one that went on in Hilo, but you dress up, a lot of costumes, a lot of good food, sort of celebration of resilience. I think that's it. Have a good rest of your week.